Hello, entertainment daily lovers. A good day. Good day from my side. This is good evening from my side. Good morning, good afternoon. I greet you according to your time or according to the time that you are seeing this live stream. So, what we're going to quickly do is go into YouTube and let's check our sound and let's dive right into this reaction video and this is an interesting topic, so when you come in, grab your drink because this is a long, I think, like, we might probably do it in two parts, but this is an interesting, shocking, emotional, brace yourself, okay, like with the kind of things you will be hearing on this interview. It's going to blow your mind. So we are going to be reacting to this. This is an interview that was done by a YouTuber, and we will start as we normally do. Give a shout out to the person that interviewed this lady, and shout out to the lady for being so bold to come out and tell her story. And I was just thinking, a lot of people have so much to say about Cora, about what's this other Big Brother Nigeria lady, and so many other people that have actually had, this interracial marriage. When it crashes, people have a lot to say, and most times, and even in the case of Cora, we still see a lot of women of color still associating with JD and the likes. So I want us to just react to this and let's see what people can learn, okay? Because we learn every day in this life. And when someone is as bold as this young woman to come out and share her story, then I think it is for us to even talk about it more so more people get to see it. YouTube is a place where we have billions of people. Hello, hello, Julie Stage. Welcome, 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 Julie. Thank you so much for joining. How are you doing today, Queen? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So if you're just joining us for the first time, probably because you saw this story, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and join us on our lives together. So, uh, together. All right, so let's first of all give a shout out to the YouTuber that interviewed this lady. Her YouTube name is Lynn Ngugi. I think they are from Kenya. I believe both of them are from Kenya. That's East Africa. Yes, and Lynn Ngugi's channel, she has 1.13 million subscribers. So her channel is not even a small one. This lady that did this interview, her channel is huge. And she interviews people, and she's doing a good job. And she has about 499 videos from what I see on her channel. She is doing great. This interview that we're about to react to, I think it's about 4 months old, but the story is something that even if this story is 10 years or 20 years, there is still a lot you can learn from it. There's still a lot people can learn from it. So come on in and hear shocking things from the horse's mouth. The woman that this happened to, come and hear her tell her story by herself. So shout out to you, Lynn Ngugi. I hope I'm not murdering this Swahili name. So let's get right into this video. And as we go, like I said, is a reaction. So as the talk, we're going to pause 4 months old video, 999K views that she has as at this point that we're about to react to this. And the title of this video, how this lady, she titled it on her own channel. She said, "The price I paid for marrying an old white rich man." That's how they titled it. Sorry, that's what she wrote on the thumbnail. And on the title, she said, "I spent my 20s with an old white man and I paid heavily for it." Okay, so this lady doesn't even sugarcoat. She puts the title the way it should be. She doesn't care what YouTube gonna say. It's not. It's the like, you will hear the story and you know that that's how it should be. Okay, so let's get right into this video without wasting time, and let's start this reaction. Like I said, we're supposed to check our sound. I wanted to first of all introduce this from the beginning, so as people are coming in, they will learn one or two. So those of you that like to say and judge Cora and this, "Oh, she couldn't have enjoyed, she couldn't have this, she was dancing, she was shaking her nyash," every blame had to go to Cora and every other person that has been in interracial marriage. But the Muzungus and the Oyibos, they don't get to receive blame. But if only you know. Let's listen to this together. But let me quickly check out, do a sound check. like the live stream. If you are just coming in, please give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. Like the live stream. Just coming in, please give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. Like the live stream. Okay, so I think our sound is good. All right, done with that. Please give a thumbs up. Thank you also very much, and let's dive right into this shocking um story that this woman had to tell. It's going to blow your mind. I am telling you. And that's give me a second. Give me a second. Mm. All right. So I was trying to get my little one to videos. I'm trying to find the video. I had it here. What? How did it? How did? Oh, what's going on now? Why is it showing notify me here and I'm already live and it's still showing that I'm not live? What's going on? What is going on? Okay, give me a second. Let me just go back and pull up this video again. Okay. So this is how it started. Let me know if you can hear. This man had friends who were doctors, and they decided my tube should be removed. And after that, it became almost impossible for me to conceive. So I spoke to this man and I said, I am going to leave. He laughed in my face. He said, you will not leave. You have nowhere to go. Don't think that you're going to live here with even a single cent. You're not living here with any money. The lady you hear talk, her name is Rose, and she's the one that was married, according to the title of this video we're reacting to. She's the one that was married to a rich, old, white man. Okay, and I think they met in Kenya. Her name is Rose. I hope she gets to say her last name so we know her full name. And the interviewer is Lynn. She's a very big YouTuber with over 1 million subscribers here, and this is actually 4 months old, but it is an interesting story. Interesting story. Okay, so let's continue. I left with 200 shillings in my bag as God is my. So you will hear the word Muzungu. Like I said, both of them are from East Africa. East Africa, Muzungu, most of you know, if you've been on this channel, you know that when you hear Muzungu, you're talking about the Caucasians. That's how they are called, Muzungus. So if you go to like West Africa, places like Nigeria, you hear Oyimbo. So Oyimbo or Muzungu is the same. It's another name for Caucasians. So yeah, let's go. 10 years later. 10 years. They did not transfer anything into me. I don't know about the previous cycle, but this particular cycle they did not transfer anything. But according to my paper, it said they transferred 2 embryos. So now you're looking at yourself, Lynn, and you're like, look at my bed. It's empty. And money is gone. Everything is gone. The things I lost within those 10 years were my fertility. That was gone. I lost the chance of experiencing life with a man who is close to my age. I didn't omoka. So I lost. I didn't omoka anyway. You lost the mansion. Yeah, I lost the mansion. Okay, so the fact that this okay, so now she's going to start her interview. So let me. Okay. I didn't want that music to play. Restoration series. My name is Lynn Gugi. I have said we all learn through. Okay, so this is the interviewer. That's like the first part to kind of how you have to do it to catch people's attention, to keep them watching and listening. So they just touched on most of the things that the lady will be talking about is what you heard. Because I know most people like, wait, what is she talking about? So many things at once. No, the interview is not really started. Now the interviewer is going to introduce herself and she's going to introduce the lady and then the main interview will start. So sit put because this is an interesting story. Like I said, for people that are very emotional, I hope you have your handkerchief, your paper, something to clean tears, because the kind of things you'll be hearing here is going to shake you to your core. And this lady, Rose, bravo. The woman is a very strong woman. May God continue to strengthen this woman. After everything she went through, she was still able to sit down, tell her story, and in the midst of her telling her story, she's even able to laugh and joke. Let me just let you people listen to it. Keep your comments coming. Let me know what you think about this.
Mistakes, and believe you me, everyone has a story, and I can't wait for you to hear my best story today. Many of you might have caught it on her own channel. I watched it. I binge watched all those parts, and when we heard she was in Kenya and she was willing to share her story with us, I said, by the way, this is the purest form of rebuilding and restoration. She shares her story in the most vulnerable way, and all she wants is for us to be able to pick the lessons from what she's going to talk to us about today.
A lot of lessons to be learned.
Introduce herself and walk us through her story. Lakini, my people, please stop acting like you can't see we have a new set. I really want you guys to tell me what you think about our beautiful set today. We had to do away with our green and mustard chairs.
Just be patient, because yes, it's an interview and she has to talk to her audience. Like I said, she has over 1 million people there on her channel, and even this that she did 4 months ago, she has over 1 million views. Okay, to tell you how interesting this story is, so much to learn from. She has over 1 million view on this, so she's kind of talking about her studios and all of that. So be patient, let her finish.
For a while now, and we felt like, you know what, it's time for a change. You know, as a creative, sometimes when you see same colors often, sometimes it really blocks your creativity.
I don't want to skip anything because I don't want us to miss nothing.
Said for almost 2 years, it's time to let go. This one is dedicated to Muga. By the way, he was like, we are changing the set, and he was so happy. And the amazing people at Customized Furniture.
Okay, so she's giving a shout out to
here is
people that probably she's working with.
They made the set
also,
for us, and not just this one, but others that we do have downstairs for shooting different segments. And if you are looking for furniture, because I can vouch for them.
Look, as a like for it, I know that most people will be saying, why don't you just skip this part? No, as a content creator, you know that it is very important. Okay, we are using her content, we're reacting to her content, so the least we could do is just allow everything to go accordingly. But be patient, the interview is going to start after she finished doing this.
Yeah, I can vouch for them because this is so comfy for me. So if you're looking into getting yourself some really nice, cozy, beautiful.
If you're just coming in, joining us now, you are welcome. Please like the live stream, give it a thumbs up, and we're reacting to a very interesting story that is one that when you see it, you won't be able to just pass. And this interview was done by another YouTuber called Lynn Ngugi, and she was interviewing her fellow Kenyan sister. So this is a story from East Africa, a Kenyan sister, a black sister, a woman of color, that married a rich, according to their title, a rich old white man, and this man did the most to this woman. You will be shocked. Some people will cry, tears will be like the kind of things you will hear will blow your mind. So that's what we are here for. So you wait for this interview, and because I want to hear the lady introduce herself, and I want you people to hear the names and
they have cabinets, anything that you need, they can be able to make that.
That's a very long this advert, but okay. Those of you that will watch the replay, you'll be able to skip a little bit.
Just let me know what you guys honestly think about this new set. I'm really looking forward to your feedback. But also remember, if you're watching this from diaspora and you want to send money back home, you know,
it's a bit long. Let me see.
She said, can I have your ID? That time I had
Wait.
actually applied for
The advert
put
is
this
this.
work together. And thank you for subscribing. Road to 1 million subscribers. Here we come. Makes me really happy. So shukran sana. And now, of course, without further ado, please allow me to let
So
my
4 months
guest
ago, she
today
was road to
introduce
1
herself.
million, and now she's
Good
1
morning.
point.
How are you? I'm very fine. Karibu kwetu. Nice to finally see you in person. Nice to meet you too. I've been seeing you. I've been following this platform for a long time, and I love everything you're doing. I love your community. So supportive, so nice. Yeah, your people are just like the best. The best people. Best community. I appreciate it. I love it. Yeah, since you've really watched us for a long time, what do you think we should improve on? Oh my good. What would you want? Oh my God, you're doing an amazing job. Just the way it is that you're doing.
So I know that sometimes people don't have patience, and they'll be thinking, why don't you just get right into the main gist, start asking her questions and whatnot. Sometimes when you interview people and it's a story that is this touching, if you are a professional person and you're being professional, you know that you have to try to, get the person to be a bit comfortable, so the person will be comfortable enough to start spilling. So I think that's what the interviewer is doing by asking her, what do you think we should change? You've been watching us for a while and all of that.
Amazing job. Like I think the first show I watched was oh my God, like long time ago, and everything has been
So
progressing.
you can
So
see
well,
that
the
she's been
growth,
more
the
relaxed
support, the
as they're just
community,
chatting about
the way you are
random
actually
stuff
impacting our
before they
nation,
get
our
into
young
the
people.
main
I highly
gist.
appreciate what you're doing. You're doing an amazing job. Let's give you your flowers.
Yes, give her her flowers.
Your team. I've interacted with your team, and one of your team member was so supportive to help me with my voice. You can hear my voice too. It's a bit, she went far and beyond.
That this woman can even laugh.
Do this.
She's really a strong woman.
Thank you so much.
The woman is really strong.
Oh, thank you. And we also appreciate Dama for that, by the way. Yes. Dama is one of our producers here, and she's doing an amazing job. I am a huge advocate for growth. So when I see her being able to navigate this production world, it really makes me happy. Yes. But anyways, for the people who are maybe catching you for the very first time, could you please introduce yourself? Yes. Hi, lovely viewers. My name is Rose Nyambura. I am a woman. I am married to
Rose Nyambura. I hope I didn't murder that Swahili name. Okay. So I know some persons might want to go and search for her, and from what the interviewer said, she has her own channel. So let's listen to Rose Nyambura's story. And like I said, this is a very tough story, and you will get to understand why she introduced herself. As if you're patient enough to listen to this interview with us, you will get to understand why she introduced herself by saying, I am Rose Nyambura and I am a woman. Let's proceed.
One husband. I was born and raised in the Rift Valley region of this nation, and I must say that
this nation being
I
Kenya,
grew up in a situation where some people might not believe how my childhood was and how I actually turned out. Yeah. So I was raised in the Rift Valley region, as I said, and I am one of those children that are sort of like raised in different places within the family. So we will get into that, but I think my childhood was quite challenging. It was quite something. Yeah, it was something. And yes. Rose, I must admit, even you accepting to be on our platform really humbles me, because I know you shared your story from a very deep place. Yes. And for me, one of the things I always ask people in this Rebuilding Restoration series is, why was it important for you to want to share that with our community? Okay, so what I do, first of all, I work in retail, but I am also a content creator. Yes. And the reason why I became a content creator is that first of all, my marriage originated in online dating. So I wanted to talk about online dating and interracial dating and relocate.
They also, as she's talking, the lady is flashing photos of the Caucasian man that she was married to. and several photos of them all dressed up, all looking flashy, looking all good, and all of that as she's talking. I just wanted to say that to y'all because you can see that.
Because those are things that I have gone through, and I saw that people were having problems. They were struggling when it comes to online dating. They were struggling when it came to interracial dating. So I made that my focus, and I focused mainly on young women, young African women. So when I started creating content, I started interacting with women and seeing what they are going through and seeing the challenges they are facing. So as we went along, I noticed a trend. Okay. And this trend was young African women getting on dating websites looking for old foreign men. And the reason why they were doing that is that they felt maybe that is their ticket to getting out of a bad situation. And since I had been in that situation myself, and when I was younger, and
this woman did not sugarcoat her words. She said everything the way she experienced it, what she thinks. So listen properly. Like I say, people would learn. People will learn. What you will hear this woman say, the things you will hear on this interview, it's going to make you fall off from your chair. Trust me.
Unfortunately, mine turned out really bad. And I saw that there are people who are also going through the same, and their situation was looking a bit like mine. I spoke to young
She's
ladies,
bold to even share.
At some point, I decided I'm gonna share my story because it's gonna make more sense if I share my story. So that is why I decided to share my story today. Yes. I really, as I said, I really do appreciate it. And one of the things,
the thing is, or the sad part is, even with her sharing her stories, there are still people that will just not listen. Because take for instance, in the case of Cora and JD, after everything that is online, we still have people that are willing to go through this horrible thing that Cora is still going through. She's not out of it yet. And other people, like the Big Brother Ninja lady Karen, also, and several. What's this other YouTuber's name? We saw how they fought on what's her name? Is it Nikki? On YouTube here, we saw how they fought, screamed that it, like we've seen so many, and the other lady with with an Asian guy also. But there are people that even after seeing these things will still willingly walk into these traps, feeling like they will be able to navigate it, thinking they are in a better position, or they'll be able to make better judgment when the time comes. But then later on they get to come out and cry and not learn from people like Rose that is sharing her story.
I was gathering just from watching your story. Everything has a root. Everything has a beginning, And I was really your childhood really captured my attention. And guys, as I'm watching, I'm like, it's funny how we move through life, accumulating and accumulating and accumulating and accumulating situations that are really hard for us to get out of. And I was just reflecting, and I'm like, where I am right now, what are some of the bad things that are happening to me, or bad situations that I'm in, or something that happened to me that might have made me become something that I might not be proud of, So for me, it was a moment of reflecting on how one activity after the other can accumulate into something so big. You sit and you're like, nilifika ukuaje? How did I get here? So from a place you are comfortable in, so people understand how did you get here, and also how you are rebuilding right now, and how your life has been restored. Could you walk?
So first of all, I wanted to say shout out to this interviewer because she did a fantastic job, okay, by getting this lady to not only jump to the part of the story where she met this Caucasian man and every horrible thing that happened, but she actually made the interviewer actually made Rose, okay, so that's Lynn, when I say Lynn is the interviewer, actually made her to explain from the beginning, and you will see the build up until it got to where you won't be believing the kind of things you'll be hearing. So let's keep going.
Your journey from a place you're comfortable in, so that we get to understand the root and where we are right now. Yes, thank you. So what I can say is that I will start exactly where I started my story, because mine, I suppose maybe I could come back and talk about my childhood, but I will touch a little bit because people misunderstood, some people misunderstood my story because they were like, where were your parents? What was happening? Why didn't you get guidance? So what was going on there? So for me, I would say my parents were not present in my life, unfortunately. My dad, I don't know who he is. My mom was not present. So my grandmother tried to be present, but she also had small kids. So when you're trying to raise your daughter's kids and you have small kids, it becomes difficult.
And I feel like this particular person knew the story. This Caucasian man that Rose was married to, I believe she told her story, and knowing fully well that she didn't even know who her dad was, and he was older, because that's what it said. It said older Muzungu. So him being an older Muzungu, he knew that he would be able to manipulate things. That's why he took it as far as he did, because he was confident that he would get away with it, and he would get away with a lot, before she would realize anything and try to save herself and her life. It might be too late.
So when I became of age, kind of, because I was still young, I started hustling. So I was hustling, trying to make money, also trying to support my grandmother with my siblings. And in the midst of, hustling, I came across this job. There was a lady who was working.
It's amazing that she can even smile and laugh.
And we used to go to that neighborhood actually just looking for casual jobs. And this young lady was like, Rose, there's a job opportunity here, would you like to try it out? I was like, yes, of course. Yeah, and how old are you here? Here I'm just about to turn, I would say 18 actually. I was just 18.
She was still very young when this job opportunity
she
came.
Says, would you like to try this job? Because that place was not easy to get a job. What used to happen is if somebody is working there and there's an opportunity, they will find somebody from their village or their relatives or something. But in this case, this lady said, there's this Muzungu old lady who's looking for a housekeeper, the kind.
Okay, so Muzungu, y'all know Muzungu, Caucasians. So, it is really disturbing that with history, with everything, these people will still come down to motherland, and they will still be getting preferential treatment and be treated like they are. Anyways, it is well.
That just comes in the morning and goes home. Would you like to do the job? I said, yes, of course. She said, well, when you go there, don't say which tribe you're from. I was like, okay.
So there's even a tribe they don't even want to work with.
Tribe you are, she's not going to give you the job. She never gets people from that.
Did you hear that? So this is a Muzungu that left from wherever she left from, Europe, America, wherever, went all the way to Africa, stays in Kenya, but she's still selective of the kind of people that she wants to give job to in Kenya. Certain tribes from Kenya cannot work. Anyways, the kind of things that these people are capable of, when I see people defending the nonsense, it is horrible.
This job, don't worry. So I went there and I found the lady and I said my name is Rose, but I said the other name. And she said, Okay, so would you like the job? I said yes. We had an agreement. She said, can I have your ID? That time I had actually applied for my ID, but there was an issue, so I couldn't actually produce the ID. I said,
Please let me know if you can hear. I want to make sure that you people can hear everything because did you hear that? So this is a Muzungu that left from wherever. Okay, so I think y'all can hear. I just want to check the sound and be sure.
She said, all right. Yeah. So the plan here was I'm gonna try and extend the period of getting the ID so I can, like, I'm young. I'm just gonna like, if I work 2 months, that's okay. So anyway, she gave me the job and I started working. It was okay. It was paying the bills. I was able to have, a bit of a comfortable life. I buy a few makeup. I like makeup. I used to apply a lot of makeup in those days.
Of course, young girls, they love makeup.
This lipstick used to be called Irene. It used to be green, and then when you apply, it's pink. Oh my God! It's old school. It's long. So, and life went on. But I remember one time. Let me just give you the dynamics. There was the old lady and the husband, and she had 2 children. One man, that the son was able differently, and of course there was the firstborn son. Yeah. And that was my job, and I would just do the household work. And there was this particular time the firstborn son came, and I was going to meet some friends, so I guess I was a bit rough with setting the table. These people from the other race, they do things differently. You have to set the table for dinner, prepare everything.
I love the humor from East Africa. Some people always think that you all are Africans. We all have like different humors and everything. And trust me, the East Africa, they blow, and not only East Africa, but generally like other parts. I'm from West Africa, for those that don't know. So it's the same thing. Like if you hear somebody from West Africa, somebody from East Africa, or Central Africa, or Northern Africa, in general, we all sound different and we have different humors and everything. I love the way she just said it, that the way she talked about the Caucasian, the way she said it, that they do their things in a different way and whatnot. That got me laughing. But if you're just coming, you are welcome. We are here reacting to a very interesting true life story of a lady called Rose, and she spoke about how she got married to a Caucasian and how this Caucasian ganged up with his friend that is a doctor, and they did the most to her, ruined her life, removed her womb and everything. You will hear all of that on this interview. So sit, put, relax. Don't be in a hurry to go anywhere. She's still telling the story from the beginning so people get to understand everything. Okay, she just didn't jump into when she met him and the luxury and all whatever was going on. She started from how she even met his mom, right, that she was working for, and then how she would now that would now lead to her meeting him and everything. So please sit down, relax, and there's a lot you're going to learn from this. There is so much you're going to learn from this. This is a very long interview. If we're not able to finish it in one, we'll do it in a way where people that will come back and watch the replay will be able to sit and enjoy it, because if it's too long then people might not be able to watch. So let's see how far. I think it's over an hour long interview if I'm not mistaken. So we will see how we're going to do it. Let me see. Oh, it's 2 hours 49 minutes, so it's very long. So I think we're going to do it in 2 parts, so it will be about an hour plus an hour plus. So it's going to be part 1 and 2, so people will be able to consume and enjoy, because I don't want anybody to miss any part of the story, because there's just so much we're going to learn from this, and learning never ends. Hearing other people's story and hearing this lady telling her own story, this is what happened to her. I don't think anybody should be in a hurry to just see this live stream and skip by, because it's not even a clickbait.
Flowers, the table look nice. Yeah. So when the food is ready, you just bring the food and serve. Yes. So this particular day, I guess I was a bit rough. I did not set the table properly, and the family was in the family room just having a nice moment. And the lady came out and she was not happy with what I had done. And she was, oh, why did you not do it properly? Look at those flowers. And the son came out and said, Mom, have a seat. I will teach her. I'll show her what to do. So he came and we are sorting out the table, and he said, "Are you sure you are not from that tribe?"
Can you imagine?
Yeah, are you sure you are not from that tribe?
Do you hear that? These are Caucasians that are living in Africa, living in Kenya. She's working in Kenya. She's not working in Europe, America, or any other continent. She's in her own place, working in a. They are living in her country and everything. But yet, look at how, first of all, this white woman didn't want to employ people from that tribe, from her tribe, this particular tribe, right? In Kenya. Didn't want to. The person that was bringing her to work, that was telling her, make sure you don't say that you're from that tribe. This is how wicked some of these Muzungus can be. This is how wicked some of these people can be. Not even just some, majority of them. Their wickedness is born with them. And then the son, seeing that she didn't set the table very well, everything is not the same. Cultural differences and whatnot. We should be able to tolerate each other and teach. You don't need to belittle her by telling her, you sure you're not from that tribe or whatnot. You know, you've been in the country, you've lived there for some years. You know that people of Kenya, they do things differently. If they are setting table, the Africans, we will set our table differently. The way we eat different. We're not as selfish as these other people, where they don't even like to share. Even when they have to do it, it's almost like you're forcing them to do it. They're even the kind of people that you can go to their home, they offer you food. After you eat, immediately you turn your back, they're insulting you. You don't bring anything. So you get people do things differently, and that should not be why you should ask, are you sure you're not from this tribe? But typical them, if you know history, you know nothing they do that can shock me. In particular, personally, me, there's nothing those people will do that will shock me.
Tribe. I usually are not from that tribe. Did you give my mom your ID? I say my ID is not out yet, but I'm not from that tribe. In fact, I'm a half caste of this tribe and this tribe.
So she lied. In order to keep her job, she had to lie that she was from two different tribes.
Like, do you have a boyfriend? Do you know what are you doing with your life? And I was like, okay, maybe I'm just imagining things. So I went on with the job, and at some point.
Now, why was this old Muzungu asking her about boyfriend?
He called me to his house, and he used to actually have a. I thought it was a wife. You know how we do in Africa. If you're living with somebody,
yes, you're married.
So he started
not them
to me in a way that I found it wasn't appropriate, because he's supposed to be married. So I said, but you're married. You're married. He said, no, I'm not married. I have a living girlfriend. Hey, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. Now, first of all, the red flag. He came to his mom's home for whatever event they were having, whatever God-forsaken event, because they are terrible people. He's terrible. His mother is horrible. Their whole family is horrible. Everything. In fact, I think those people are cursed, really, for what they did to this young woman. So now, from you trying to teach her how to set the table and put the flowers, the cutleries, and everything, you asking her about boyfriend. What does that have to do with boyfriend? You telling your mom that I'm going to teach her what to do. What does that have to do with boyfriend? Why are you asking her those things? Because you've seen, remember, she said she was about 18 when she started working for the woman. So who knows if he was in his 30s or 40s even, because the title of this says old rich white man, right? So maybe he was anywhere between 15, 20 years or even more older than her. So now, from meeting her as his mom's house help, he's invited her over to his place. She thinking that the woman he was living with was his wife, because in Africa, of course, we don't just move into men's home. Your bride price must be paid and everything must be done before you move into a man's home. But with the Caucasians, it's not like that. Even when they have ordinary boyfriends, they move in with the boyfriends, and they can have boyfriends and be boyfriending and having 10 billion children and not even paying bride price, not getting married officially. And later in their life, that's when they go and get married. But she was thinking that was his wife. But I feel like at this point, this man already knew that he could take advantage of this young lady that was naive. And that's why he invited her over to his home, because I don't see why he was inviting her over. They had money because they said they are rich, right? From her story, these people are rich. So if his mom is able to have a living nanny or somebody that goes and comes back, then he should have also been able to, have a house help that cleans, cooks, and does everything. So why is he inviting this 18 years old help that's supposed to be his mother's help over to his home and asking her about boyfriend?
I was like, oh, okay.
Because he had evil plans.
So at during this time, as I'm working, they're having problems with the so-called living girlfriend. She moves out, she comes back in. But that had nothing to do with me. But the household, the way it was set up, it was a big compound with two big houses. So it wasn't like they were living very far away. In fact, you could just cross from one home to the other home. So I could see like what was going on. I remember there was one time I saw the lady putting things in the car and they were shouting and things like that. But anyway, life went on, and there came a time when the family used to go back to their country for vacation. And the lady, the old lady, now my boss.
I don't know if she's gonna mention the country.
This time we're gonna.
I don't remember. It's been a while.
And we are going on vacation. Therefore, your working hours are going to reduce. And I was very sad because now my income, my source of income,
it's going away.
Yeah, because she was like, I'm not gonna be paying you because like you're not working. So I was like, oh my God, okay, no problem. How long are you gonna stay? She says something like,
this also goes to tell you how wicked this employer of hers was. If she was a good person, she could say, we're going for vacation, okay, knowing this lady's situation, she really needs this job and needs at least give her something. But Muzungus, if I hear say they give you something, they no collect something for your hand back. If I hear
3 months. I was like, no, I'm gonna be 3 months without.
They can never give you anything for free.
I was like, all right, no problem. So it so happened that there was a man also who was working there, taking care of the flowers and things, and he was also in charge of helping the son who was able to differently. He quit. So, and without notice. So now they found themselves in a tight spot because now they are leaving and this guy has quit. So there's nobody to take care of their son. And also it happened that the lady of the house, the other side, moved out. Okay. So now the old lady called me and said, Rose, I find myself in a tight spot because we are leaving our son and we really now need somebody to take care of him, so we need to come up with an agreement. I was like, how much are you paying?
Rose was thinking about hustling, making that money.
I said, no, you have to go a little bit higher. We agreed, and now we were moved to this house. Yes. So now I was there. My job was now to take care of
their son,
and also take care of the other job that I was doing initially. So they left, and I must say the son where we moved in also had a daughter. They took their granddaughter with them. So now it was me and the brother and the owner of the house. So he was going about his job and everything. So I was sort of like in charge in the house. So the job continued. And I must say also, I must go back a little bit and say there came a time when I should give my ID and it was discovered who I am and where I'm from.
Yambura finally brought her ID, okay? This lady is a strong lady. The fact that she can even laugh, that's why we can even laugh and also make jokes here as we're listening to this interview. But this is really some, so you remember she spoke about the ID. So they finally discovered where she was from because they didn't want to work with people from her tribe, Muzungus. Then go leave Europe, America, Australia, all the other parts, Asia, everywhere where they want from. Come Africa, then go still carry their shoulder like say there be something.
I brought the ID, but I said to her, I said, Madam, I'm really sorry, I lied, okay?
Rose was being honest. She needed the job.
Just remember that I've been working very hard and I've been doing a good job. Don't fire me. No, I don't do this, but okay, all right, no problem. But behave yourself. Yes, and set the table right. Set the table and don't break my because there was a time I broke the cup and she made me pay. Hey, don't break more.
Oh, welcome. That's a barrister in the building. Oyoyo's world. Welcome. Oyoyo, wait until you hear the lady tell you what this Oyimbo did to her. Then you will know that even this title is because of YouTube. I was trying to title it in a way that YouTube will not come and say we're using heavy language as if the story we're saying is not real life. This is true life story that this Rose Nyambura is telling us. It is her story. What happened to her when she was married to this, you know, it is crazy that Rose can even smile and make jokes like this. When you hear, sometimes, this saying that they say, when you feel like your situation or your story or your case is the worst, wait until you hear other people's story. You're just going to jump up and say, thank God mine is not the worst. When you hear what Rose has gone through, let's just continue. Like I said, this is a long interview, and I will probably do it in two parts. Because if I will do it all in one part, maybe two, because the interview is over, it's 2 hours plus, so we'll probably do it in two parts. Let's see. We're already 44 minutes into this, but let's just see how this goes. If I'm able to, then I will just do it in one. If not, we will do it in two.
So we continued with the job, and it was okay. It was everything was going well. But there came a time when this man now told me that he started showing interest in me, and I couldn't understand.
Rose Nyambura is her name. She's from Kenya. I don't know if you've seen her story before, but she did this interview with another Kenya host that is called I don't know, but they said she has a channel, but I've not seen Rose channel, so I don't know. Maybe you've seen her channel, and her channel name is Rosie, but I know that her name is Rose Nyambura from what they said on this interview. And she was one that was married to a rich white old man, according to the title of this, and she paid heavily for that, paid heavily, where this man and his doctor friend ganged up and messed up this woman's life, removed her womb without her consent, without her permission, because he didn't want her to have kids. He already had kids. The story is crazy.
And I couldn't figure out why he was so interested in me. Because if I'm being honest, the lady he was with was a beautiful woman. The living girlfriend. The so-called living girlfriend. She was a beautiful woman. And what were you? I didn't. For me, I didn't feel beautiful myself. No, I did not consider myself beautiful because as I was growing up, I was always told that I was not beautiful. I was not that typical. The things we are used to when we look at beautiful girls. Because I remember.
Now let's pause here. Y'all remember when I did a live stream and I spoke about this, and I'm like, people were blaming Cora for this, Cora for that. And when people talked about Cora not dressing up, Cora, what did I say? I said Cora will never, ever cover up. And I knew why I was saying that. Did you hear this lady say she never saw herself as a beautiful person? Any skinny person that is an African, the way that if you're outside, you're not from this, you know that, but the bully that comes with you not looking, because that's what you will hear. You don't look like an African, because when you're skinny, you don't have that giant booty we have. You don't have that giant everything. You're called straight like a tree. So insults always come from when you're still little. So this lady grew up, except you're a person that knows who you are, and it will take you a time to find out. Some people find it out earlier, some people, then you know who you are, and then you're able to teach and encourage other people. So that's why I said Cora, when Cora discovered herself and knew her worth and knew that beauty and everything, Cora decided not to cover herself up because she's been told that she doesn't have anything. No nyash, no breast, no nothing. You're not hot, you're not cool, nobody will want you, know this, know that. Now people display it in different ways, except you're somebody that unless then showed in different way, then you already know that you can carry yourself in different, because you know that you are beautiful. It's just people with shallow mind that says this. And so you see how this woman already was looking at the other living girlfriend of this man and was thinking, oh, she was beautiful because she had the booty, the everything, and she was just a skinny, lanky person, and she never considered herself beautiful. And that's all what this Caucasian man would have seen, looked at, known, and he was taking note of everything, because trust me, they lived in Africa, so they already know. For the fact that his mother would not even, employ somebody from Rosie's tribe, you know that they've been in Kenya for a very long time. They've been in Africa East Africa for a very long time. So they already know. So this man was just looking for everything, and that's one thing that these people are good at. picking up things that they will use later against the person.
When I turned, I would see 12. That's when I got my height. I'm 5'6". So that's when I got my height, and there was nothing else. I just got my height.
Said nothing else. Look how she speaks about herself.
So all the girls are getting their shape and everything, they're walking in a bunny style. For me, actually, I used to bounce.
You see?
I remember my grandmother told me, she said, Nyabra, why are you walking like a man?
You see? Okay, so her advert is playing. Let's allow the advert to play, and then we're going to continue with this.
I decided, well, since I have, I don't have nothing to do this,
I'm just gonna bounce. So, jokes apart and everything, you can actually see that this person already didn't have confidence or anything. So already in the eyes of this Caucasian man, oh, I've seen one that I can use anyhow. Do you all understand?
So when he showed interest and I saw how beautiful she was, I was like, what do you want from me? What do you see? In fact, I remember asking, what
You see?
He said, I see whatever other men are seeing. I was like, for me, that was something that I found very strange, honestly. But I was like,
can you imagine?
I'm not sure about that.
If only she knew she was beautiful.
As we are going about our business and working and we are talking, and at this point he started opening up about a lot of things to me, which I found very strange, again, because I'm just a worker. Like, why are you telling me all these things? Because he was opening up about how he was with the so-called living girlfriend and the things he was doing. I remember one time he came with a music system. He came with some electronics, TV, some speakers, things like that. And I could see these things were not new. So I said, boss, did you find somewhere they were having an auction or something? Like, why are you bringing old things? And the house had everything, He said, no, actually, these ones are from my other girlfriend.
You can imagine the kind of person.
Okay. I said, so you have another girlfriend? I said, yeah, I had another girlfriend. We broke up, and because these things were expensive, I decided I'm not going to leave them. So
typical Muzungu. Can you imagine? Because they broke up, these things were expensive. He packed everything, even though he had TV, furniture, everything in his home. He packed everything because they will never leave even toothpick for you. So if you don't have your own as you're going, know that you will leave with the cloth on your back. And if that is the clothes you were wearing when you came in, because if it's the clothes they bought for you, then you're living naked without anything. Trust me.
Taking their things back. Yeah, taking things to So I was like, oh.
And I feel like this was already red flag.
Yeah. Okay.
When the time came, she should have avoided him.
Something I still don't understand. Why do you
but they are sweet
have
talkers.
another girlfriend out there? And yet, I must be honest, that woman was beautiful. I was like, but you have such a beautiful woman, and she seemed like very nice lady. It's like, no, if you Africans can have many wives, why can't I have other girlfriends out there? I was like, okay, well, you had nothing to do with me. And another time he came, he was very stressed in the afternoon around 2 o'clock. He was very stressed. He was throwing his jacket. And I was like, boss, what happened now? I said, boss, what is going on now? He said, I think I'm done with women now. I'm done with women. I said, what's going on? I had another girlfriend now, and they're fighting. Hey! I said, which one was it? Which girlfriend, and who is fighting? So apparently now the living girlfriend was fighting with her actually best friend. he had now started going out with her best friend, and apparently they had gone to a beauty school together, and they had been working together. But once she started going with him, she found a job somewhere else. And when this best friend, found out where she was
Let's
working,
pause
they
here
went there.
for a bit, and let's talk about, because I actually added Cora and JD's photos because I wanted to give examples so you people will understand. Now, excuse me, sorry, I have a cold. You heard what she just said. He was fighting with his living girlfriend. Who was the person he went for? The friend of the living girlfriend. That's one thing that most Muzungos would do. Once you have issues with them, who do they target? Your family members, your close friends. That's why I said what Justin is doing is not just because of, Justin is doing it to pepper Cora. That's why Justin will never date outside Cora's race. He will never date somebody from his race because that one will not do Cora anyhow. And he really would want people from Nigeria, people from Cora's state, if he can find them. Why is his best friend that is running mouth somebody from Cora's state? Where is Frida from? From Cora's state. They will do everything to target everybody that is close to you. Everybody you speak to, they pretend they don't see, but they will be checking. The people that they know you speak to more often are the first people they will target. Because in their mind, they feel like they're doing you. But one thing they don't understand is that because the cultures are different, people don't even react the same way. So did this connect the dots for you people to understand what Justin is doing, Cora's ex-husband? This is what most of them do, and they will tell you to your face that I'm going to meet these your people. They don't even care if that person is the same mother or father with you. They will still hit on that person. So in this case, he went straight to the friend, even though he could find other women in Kenya. He went to the close friend of that person, so they started fighting. And that's the most silly thing you would do as a woman, fight because of a man.
Fight. So I was like, this is too much. Like, this is just too much. And he said, yes, that's why I'm saying I'm done with women, and it's you I want now. I said, you want me to be in that mess in this? You're going to kill me. you want me involved in this mess? No. I don't. He said, no. I'm changed. I am going to change. Hey. I am going to change. I said, you're going to change for me? Yes, I am going to change. As I said, I'm done with women now. I just want one woman. If you want, it can be you. So you tell me. Decide. Yes. So I said, after I've seen everything, I need to think about it. So give me time. He said, well, as you can see, I'm having women, so you don't need too long. Go and think about it. If you decide, I am going to make you the one.
You can imagine. You can imagine. Hold on. It's advert. I don't want this music.
I was very close to turning 20 years old. So I'm thinking, this man, at that time.
Do you see how he lured this woman? After she has seen all of these things, seen these red flags already, she was still trying to convince herself. And he's telling her, oh, I have changed. I will change. It will change. And their forefathers really taught them the wickedness. Like they gave it, maybe some kind of rituals were actually done on, I don't know. And they really know how to lie very well. They're very good liars. If they tell you good morning, check whether it's morning or night. Look at how, with the whole thing going on in his life, he came back and tried to convince the one that was just turning 20 that he knows that he will be able to lie to, and she will easily believe his lies and think that he will change for her. And she's the one that paid heavily, that paid dearly for making that mistake.
Was 57. So I'm thinking, Bethan, the one who is telling me that I'm gonna be the one. He's 57. That time he was 57. And
Did you hear that? He was 57 years old. This she was turning 20. Hey, Jesus Christ. Hey.
was about to turn 20. Yes. So I'm thinking I'm very young. He's quite old, but he's a Mzungu. And I'm seeing this nice house, the cars and everything. Yeah. And I am thinking this is my chance to Omoka. This is my ticket. Please, the way I have suffered in my childhood, the way I have the jobs I have done so many different jobs, trying to make ends meet and trying even to help my shosho with our siblings, because we are five. I just lost my last born, our last born brother. Sorry. So I was like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. This is my ticket. This is God. God is answering my prayers. Yes, but I did seek counsel to somebody who I trusted, and I was thinking, well, if she tells me it's not a good idea, I might reconsider. So I went to this person. I said, there's this boss that I'm working for, and he's showing interest. He's got issues, especially with women, but he says he's gonna change. He says I'm the one who is gonna make him change. And then she said, and what did you tell him? I said, I'm gonna go. I told him, I said, I'm gonna go and think about it. She said, what are you thinking about? What is there to think about? Have you seen that mansion? Have you seen those cars that you're cleaning? Now you're gonna be cleaning. In fact, you're not gonna be cleaning. You're gonna get somebody else to be cleaning. You're gonna be the lady of the house. All that is gonna be yours.
I wish this person that she seek advice from had given her better advice. It's not about the money. This person is telling you he's going to settle down. You're thinking about the money, the mansion, the this. Look now what you paid with. I hope people learn. The excuses and the reasons why people are settling down is the wrongest for the wrongest reasons. Seriously.
And Lynn, the problem we have as Africans, even as we get into interracial dating and interracial marriages, we think in our African mentality. You start living with a man, and suddenly that becomes your house. If there is in fact, I remember there's a lady who got married in our village, and we used to use a path to go to the shop through her shamba. And she came, and once she came there, she put a sign, no way through, private property. But when the husband was there, we just used to, she came and closed the road, we cannot go through private property. So now for me, I was thinking, all this is mine, all these cars, this mansion. And I'll put no through. No way through. This is my property.
And to show you how manipulative it is, because some of them that have those things, they will clearly tell you from day one that their things are their things are not yours. Although they might sugarcoat it in a way that you feel like, okay, you might get something or they'll leave something for you. No, don't believe nothing. Go do your thing, because when the time comes, it might be too late for you to start doing things. Don't ever, those of you that are married to or planning to, don't ever think that their things are your things. Not even their toothpick that they finished using, they will leave for you.
Forgetting this is not our African culture. You're not getting involved with an African. Yeah. So this lady says, that is your home. Don't even think about it. In fact, go and
Hey, bad advice.
This is it. So I went, and he said, have you thought about it? I said, I'm thinking about it. He said, you know what I'm going to do, tomorrow is your birthday. Now I was turning 20 the following day. Tomorrow is your birthday, so I am going to take you for dinner. Okay, so whether you say yes or you say no, I'm just gonna give you like a birthday present and take you for dinner. I said, which restaurant?
Trying to
the restaurant you mentioned. I was like, there is no way I'm saying no. So I said, yes, of course, we go for dinner, and we went for that dinner, and he was
he already knows. Why did he choose to take her for? Was that the first birthday she was celebrating? Why did he choose to take her on a dinner when he's finished asking her if she's going to be the one? Because he knows that he will take her to an expensive destination that she's never been to, one of the most expensive in that city, and she will not be able, because already I believe he's been seeing the green light that her eyes, the big mansion, the big house, and the big everything they had. Her eyes was already there, so he knew taking her to the huge distant uh restaurant, she will not be able to say no. People should learn. Leave huge restaurant and huge house and plenty money alone.
I wanted
Or
to
else you're
order
gonna pay with your
chicken
life.
and chips. That's what we used to eat when you go out. This is a different kind of restaurant. Yeah. You have to, there was some starters and some things and some, yes. And then he said, I will order for you. You want chicken? Yes. He said, I'm gonna order you chicken and roast potato on a bed of spinach, steamed spinach. I was like, hey.
Wahala.
Life, my friend. This is how we're gonna be eating. In a nice restaurant. So we had our meal, and that's when he
Just took
said,
advantage of the young woman.
I'm still gonna give you a few days, but don't take too long. I need this answer.
Can you imagine? Don't take too long.
Give you an answer. So I went back, and to cut the long story short, I did say yes. I said yes, I agree. So we started from there. And quickly it moved that because you remember the parents are in Europe, yeah, and they are there for 2 months and things are going. So he said, if you decided, you need to move in.
Wow. Oh, I'm bad again.
Transition when the parents are here. So you need to move in before they come back. So they find you here. Yes. So I said, okay. So I went and sold some of my small things and moved the others to my grandmother's place. And I moved in. Hey. So I moved in, and as I was moving,
he wanted to do it quickly.
The lady who was living there before, I guess she was not.
And that's another thing you will notice. They're always in a hurry. They don't like to wait. And he wanted to do it quickly so his parents would know, because the parents, they're always the fact that the woman was old of certain age, she will kick against it, and she would have told this one straight to her face that that's not happening. That's why the son wanted to do it quickly when the parents went on holidays before they would come back to Kenya. I believe they went to Europe for holidays, maybe visiting their home country or any other European country. Before they return, he had already married the person that he wants to maltreat, the person that he wants to ruin her life.
Fully decided whether she was out or she was in. She wasn't sure, I think, because I remember she wrote a letter and sent it to Europe talking about Rose has taken over the house and she has moved there. And I remember one particular point she added in the letter, because actually she was sending it as a secret, but then the parents, when they were sending the postcard, they included the letter. So I saw it. I actually saw it, the letter. And I remember one point she included that was not true, because the time frame she was giving, I had not moved in. Actually, I had not moved in. And she said there was one afternoon she came into the house and she found evidence that there had been a lady in that house, including the bedroom, which shows that maybe he had actually brought another woman, even I was saying, yes, because she talked about hairs and things and things that I was even questioning. I was like, how did you do a DNA test to show who
it was Rose.
It was from. Yeah.
Rose is really funny. Said, did you do a DNA test to know? So you can imagine that even after this 50-something years old man had told this woman that was just turning 20 that he would change, he would not do it, which we know it's a lie. But she didn't know. He was still sneaking in people into the home, because if Rose is saying what was included in the letter was not from her, that it means that he was still sneaking people in. Are you shocked? It is their way. That cucumber between their leg, maybe they one place.
So anyway, I moved in, and it was tough, and I was actually getting threats. I was getting threats even from other women, not that lady, even from other women. It was really
They
tough.
thought
And
they've
actually,
seen
by the time the parents were coming back,
a
I
good
didn't
person.
even know. I wasn't sure how it was going to play out, because the day they were picked up from the airport, I didn't know where I was now, because they left me as the housekeeper, and now I am
Housekeeper slash.
So I had prepared the meal for them.
Very confused position.
And now I don't know if I should sit at the table, or serve. Or serve. Wait a minute. Where am I?
Hi.
Who are we here now?
He's really, who am I? Who are we?
Who are we?
Hey.
So now,
you know, she's able to laugh about it right now, but if you think about it as at that time, because this man manipulated her and everything and quickly married her before his parents or his family even came back. Now they are coming back. She doesn't even know her position, because he knows that to him, I don't owe you any explanation. I don't need to define anything. I don't need to create any boundaries. Nothing. So he didn't even care. Do you understand? And she, in her head, was just going through, now, is she still the help? Is she now the wife? Is she what was her position? She didn't know. And that's a very terrible place for a young woman a terrible position for a young woman to be in. She's able to laugh over it right now because what? He's even done the worst. So that was like even minor.
Oh, and everybody sat down, and the table was set, and I brought the food, and I was like, what do I do now? What do we do when we get here? And the man is not doing anything. The man of the house, he just serves himself food and he's just eating.
Can you imagine?
And everybody's looking at me. The daughter is looking at me, and the parents. Now the mother,
and he has a daughter already.
She didn't know. She said, Rose, how has it been? Have you been working properly? Have you been taking care of my son and taking care of the house? I was like, Mama, everything is okay. More than everything. Guys, we have to continue, but I gotta give you a bit of disclaimer. If you notice, the color temperature has changed. KPLC wamefanya ile kitu. Rose has to travel, so we gotta finish this today. So tuendelee na kazi. Yes. So you're there on the table. Yes. You gotta figure out who you are. Yes. All right. Figure out. So I decided I'm just gonna. If I don't do this, like. Yeah, it has to be done. Yes. So I sat down, and everybody's looking at me, and the brother, who is able differently, is looking at me and laughing. So he's laughing. Anyway,
Can you imagine the position? This is even the beginning. There was no assurance. There was I don't even know why he wanted her. Like, why did he even want to marry someone? Why did he just remain single and keep dating around? But this is how their wickedness is. Looking for people's life to destroy is what makes them fulfilled. A lot of them are just narcissists, sick psychopath, sociopath, and all the parts joined together. Do you understand? Because at least give your family heads up so the woman will not be confused. Look, the brother that is she said able in another way, so probably that one was disabled or something, or physically challenged person or something, and that one was just laughing. What's his business? He knows how horrible his brother is, and probably knows the game that his brother is playing because it's his brother, right? And he was just on the table laughing. Rose was the only person that was confused on the table, but the rest of the family, they know. A bad family knows that they are bad. A good family knows that everybody knows. If you're a bad person, you know you're a bad person. Nobody needs to tell you.
We had the dinner, and now they shifted now back to their home, and I'm left here with the daughter and the father. The daughter to your man. Yeah, yes. And the man. And now it came the time now we should go to sleep. So now what he did was he just got ready and he went to the bedroom. So now I'm in this awkward situation where I'm waiting for the daughter to go so I can go, and she's waiting. Yes, and she's waiting for me to go. She's making it like really awkward.
And how old is the daughter here?
The daughter was actually just 5 years younger than me.
Oh, okay. Yes. So she's in her teenage
years. Yeah, she's about 15.
Just now 20 and she's 15.
Well,
so she's sitting there, she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, I'm waiting for her to go so she doesn't see me going into
the bedroom.
Yeah. Anyway, she didn't go, so I was like, okay, now I'm getting tired, so just go. So I said, good night. She said, good night. So I went. And in the morning, again, the same awkward situation. Anyway, we went on, and I remember.
So he didn't even have the decency to sit his own, not telling his whole family. Maybe he feels his mother and the rest of the family will be dramatic. He didn't even have the decency to tell his own daughter that was 15 years old that he has just married a new wife. And that new wife is just 5 years older than his daughter. And knowing 15 years old, it's going to be very awkward and difficult because at that age, they don't want to hear nothing. So you just stood up, went and started relaxing and didn't even care what was happening or what was not happening. Goodness me. Yeah, let me allow you all to listen to this while I just.
One time the daughter sitting me down, sort of like to lecture me. And there is something she said that I didn't understand because she, first of all, obviously, she said that I'm there for her father's money, and she said things like that. But there's something else she said. She said I am not ready to share my father.
You can imagine. Are you shocked? That's what a typical 15 years old would do. That's what a typical 15 years old person would do.
I let it go. So as we went on, unfortunately, the old lady, it came to a point when she fell and broke her hip, and the family now had to actually move.
Now, so it happened to bad people. She never falls.
Because it became very challenging for them. I used to cook for them now and take the food there, and it was very difficult. So the family decided that we should all live in the same house. And that is when now the challenge began, because suddenly I became like the caregiver of this lady, the primary caregiver, and I was doing everything else in the house. He did not employ somebody to be working actually in the house.
Wow. So yes,
he probably already knew that his mom was getting old, and people are getting older. Falling down is very easy because balance is nowhere to be found anymore. And he just needed a caregiver, a free caregiver, somebody he could use. And that is one of the threats of these Muzungus. Immediately they see people, the first thing is use. That's the first thing that comes to their mind. In JD's own, he said when he saw Cora for the first time, what was he thinking? Breathe. She was breathing. She was the one taking care. She was the one hustling, and he was just chilling. Now, this new supply he has now, this one has already started going for shopping, probably cleaning and cooking. The same Jeba was fixing his behind. Typical Muzungus. Typical. Their job is to look for people to use because they are that lazy that they can do nothing for themselves but just to use people. That's what they do in this life. Always using other people, climbing on people's head to get to where they are, and then they pretend that they are something.
The house help, you are the caregiver.
Yes,
you are
can imagine. You are the everything and the nothing.
So before
people
the
that vote will punish your
money going on well, I was cleaning my mansion. I was doing everything. I didn't have an issue. But when the lady came, it became very difficult. And also, mind you, I'm still taking care of the brother. Even as they were living in their house, I'm still the one who used to give him a bath. I used to shave him. I used to, take care of his hygiene needs. I used to do that.
Yeah.
And the problem with this issue is I was trying to be very nice to this family.
Overnight,
I must be honest, I had a goal. because the goal was to amoka. And the way I was amokaing is I had to be nice and show them how nice I am.
Well,
And
I want to believe.
expecting something in return. So I used to take care.
I want to believe that this Omoka that she keeps saying, because that's Swahili, and we have different slangs. I want to believe that Omoka would be another word for jackpot. I think like she felt like that was also her way of getting out. Probably getting to where they are from, where they went to holiday from, which was probably something she really was looking forward to. So for her, she was taking care of this man's mother that fell, broke her hips, and broke whatever she broke that no concern me. And then she started taking care of this woman, even though remember this woman is the same person that was running her mouth. She didn't want to work with people from that tribe. Now she's the one taking babysitting you. She was taking care of this man's brother that was probably disabled and couldn't do jack. He only knew how to sit on the table, eat, and laugh at that situation. But she was the one taking care of him, his hygiene and everything. A full grown human being. Taking care of this other one that was what 50 something years old, his daughter and everything. And yet this man had the audacity to do what he did to her.
How nice I am, and I suppose I was expecting something in return. So I used to take care of this brother.
She was really sincere in her this
family has joined us, and now I am also taking care of the old lady.
So in your 20-year-old mind, this is my chance. This is you.
Yes.
Or die.
Yes. And I'm gonna treat them so well that they are going to.
You don't know
reward
Zoom.
me,
If you like treat them so well, they will still pay you back with it.
Wow. So when the lady came, I spoke to my man and I told him, now we really need somebody else because this job is a lot. After the lady fell, unfortunately, she also got a stroke. So she was kind of like paralyzed on one side. So now she couldn't move. She was bedridden completely. And also her mouth would not open properly for her to feed naturally. So now we had to blend everything. You cook the chicken stew, everything, even the rice, and you blend. And you feed her with a small spoon because you could not feed her with a big spoon because the mouth won't open.
Yeah.
So that's the job we were doing.
You can
So
imagine.
we found a lady who was actually they were lucky because it was an elderly lady, so she could do the job. I feel like if it was a young lady, she wouldn't have coped with that kind of issue. So we helped, we worked together with the lady who was working there, and we took good care of that lady. She was bedridden for 2 years, and not one bed sore on that lady. We used to make sure she's dry, she's clean, she's fed. I used to talk to her. I used to just keep her company. And I think I did a good job. Even the neighbors.
You did a fantastic job. We're just evil people.
And during that time, there was an issue we were having with my side of the family because he would not let them come and see me.
You can imagine, even with everything that this woman was actually doing, these people were still mean and wicked to her. It just goes to show you how selfish I feel like some people, even the devil, when the devil sees their wickedness, the devil is shocked.
In that house,
her own family cannot even visit.
They have an appointment to come and visit.
You can imagine, you have to have an appointment to visit your own sister.
Very rude to them, to a point where my family said Nyambura has told her Muzungu to be rude to us because she doesn't want us to be there.
I live in Europe. I have saved 20,000 euros and I want to start investing. What should I do? Okay, so you have some money sitting in your bank account.
In a second.
She doesn't want us to be there.
You see how her family is already feeling.
So now I was having
sometimes it's not good to be fast to conclude. You never know what's going on behind the scenes.
She's maybe I don't know, she's embarrassed to be seen with us, so she doesn't want us in her big house. And so we had this negative energy now between me and the family.
So this man claims he loves you but hates your family.
You can imagine.
Yes, I suppose he saw himself in an upper position.
Yeah, better.
I won't say
looking back, I won't say he loved me, and I'm not even sure I loved him. I think it was just a case of maybe him taking advantage of me, and maybe me trying to take advantage of him, to be honest.
This is horrible.
And my friends, I also had friends, and he sort of chased all of them away, except one. One was Liz, my friend. We are still friends to this day. She's very stubborn. She used to really insult that.
It's only the stubborn ones that can succeed.
He had this issue about food, and we'll come to that. Yeah. He used to say that people are coming there to eat food. And why are they always coming at this hour?
Lunchtime.
Yes.
Muzugus.
Why
they don't joke with their food.
And also they don't book an appointment, so we know they're coming, so we can, arrange for their food. Yeah. But the thing is, we are in Africa.
I think when they die, they're going to carry them with their food.
Somebody calls you, they will tell you they are coming. And mind you, I'm giving you a story that was between 1999 to 2009. So in fact, when we first started, the phones were not popular. It's not everybody who had a mobile.
Yeah.
So there was no way to say, okay, tomorrow I'm coming, so
meet me here.
Yeah. And even the ones who had phones, we were not accustomed to, saying that you're coming. You might be in town and you're like, Nyambra, let me go and say hi. Yeah. And suddenly somebody's at the gate. Mm-hmm. So it was very tough for my friends. They all left me. Liz used to come and she used.
And this is for her then she didn't understand, but he was doing that deliberately just to isolate. Do you understand? Just to isolate her. So when he starts with all these things, nobody will be able to tell him this is a red flag or something.
To get like really insults. I used to apologize and apologize. Yeah. Stop apologizing. I know him and I know all your friends have left you, but I'm not gonna leave him. But with this lady, we actually related from a distance. She's actually a relative, so that also played a part. She was like, I'm just not gonna leave him. Yeah. And we kept on like that until I must take you back to when the relationship started. We talked about the issue of children. He had a daughter. He actually had two daughters. One had passed away, so he had this daughter. And he told me, you need to tell me about children. Do you want children? Because I don't want children.
He said that?
Yes, I don't want children. Do you want children? And Lynn, when you're in your 20s, very early 20s, as I said, it was our first date was just before my 20th birthday. I would say you haven't really figured out what you want to do with your life. You don't even know if you want children. You don't even know.
Like, what do you
know?
Yeah.
For us, we just want to walk out.
Yes.
So, and for me, because of my childhood, I would say I wasn't even sure about children, because I wanted, if I was to have a child, I wanted a child to have stability, because I did not have stability. So for now, I said I didn't want children. So he took me to a clinic, a family planning clinic, and I got contraceptives. Wow. And I must say, I took them religiously. I did not miss not even one day. And I kept on like that for a period of 6 years. So by the time I was 26, I had taken contraceptives non-stop for 6 years. So there came a time now I sat him down, because after I took care of his mom, his mom passed away. We took care of her for 2 years. I remember it was a very difficult time that day when she passed away. I remember it was on a Thursday. Lynn, this story, even though it takes place that period of 10 years, there are some events that...
It's amazing, how this woman can remember so much. As she told her story, you notice that she can remember so much. I'm getting ready to start my fireplace. It's called Island Life, for those of you that don't know. Island Life. So I'm getting to start my fireplace, but I want you all to listen to this interview, and I don't want to cut it just yet. So let's do this.
That's so fresh in my mind. Because this lady, this particular day, she woke up and she said she wanted her breakfast. But I usually used to wait for the housekeeper to come so we can feed her. But she said, I would like my breakfast now because I'm very hungry. And as I was feeding her breakfast, I remember it was cornflakes with milk. We used to put warm milk and salt in the cornflakes. She had not even taken 3 spoons. She said she needed a bathroom break. And at that time, the lady had now come, so we put her on the wheelchair. We took her to the bathroom. Now, I was in the kitchen, and she called me, and there was a way she sort of like used to like us keep her company in the bathroom. She was afraid to be left alone, and we used to tell her, no, you finish your business, and we come and take you. So she goes, Rose, come, I'm falling. The way she sounded, I really went quickly, and I found she was leaning on one side, about to fall. I said, oh, Mama, why are you falling? She said, oh, I'm not feeling well, I'm feeling dizzy. And as she's saying that, her voice is sort of getting weaker and weaker. She's saying she's feeling dizzy. And I told her, luckily the son was actually around. He was just in the compound fixing something.
You know, it's amazing that this man can clearly see how Rose was taking care of his mother, his brother, and every member of his family, his daughter, him, and everybody. But yet, he didn't think he should be nice at all. Just think about all of these things that Rose is mentioning, all of these things she's doing. She's doing it in her mind as, oh, these are my family. Do you understand? Because part of African culture, when you marry someone, you're marrying into that family, you're marrying the whole family. You just don't say, okay, I'll take care of just this person. I'm married to this woman or this man. No, you're married to everything that concerns that family concerns you, because this is now your new family. So Rose was just being a good wife, doing good things, but he was just being wicked.
These people of the other race, you can notice very quickly when something is seriously wrong. Because I looked at her lips, they were looking bluish. There was a way her lips were looking bluish. And I said, oh, call her son, call her son. There's something wrong with Mama. By the time she came, I remember I'm now holding her, and I remember there was a sound that she made from the inside. I will never forget that sound. It was so scary. She made a sound, and the son came and looked at her, and immediately he scooped her up and took her to the car. And long story short, she was declared, she had passed away. And we sorted out the funeral and everything. It was really a tough time even for the son, because I felt like he was more of a mama's boy, you know. He had a very deep connection with the mom. So we went through that period. The father also only took about 6 months. Again, he also passed away at night. That time the son was not around. We took him to the hospital in the middle of the night, me and now the granddaughter. Yeah. Also, he was declared, he had passed away. So after that is when I started looking down about the children. I said, you have your daughter. I'm now about to turn 27, and I have nothing. I really would like to have a baby of my own now.
This is where her problem will start.
I didn't want to do it behind your back, because I had spoken to somebody and say, don't tell him, just throw the things and just, But I didn't want to do things behind his back.
Even if you do behind him, it's not going to work.
An agreement.
It's not
again, as I said, I wanted, if I was to have a baby, I wanted the baby to have stability and to have both parents. He said, well, since you are honest about it, it's okay. Just throw the things away and then we see how it goes.
They can lie?
Lynn, that's where my problems started.
Exactly. That's it. That's where your problem begins.
We were now having like serious issues. We were having so many issues. He would go away for long periods of time. I'm sure he had other women, because that was his thing. But it was not working. And this man, he was sort of like very, I would say, abusive financially, because as I was going into that home and I saw now my responsibilities, and I could see I was working and working and working, I could not go anywhere now outside and make money. I told him, since I am not able to work anywhere else, maybe you can make a way for me to be earning an income in a way that it's sort of like passive income. So I had talked to him about maybe acquiring a property or something, and being able to
like
have something, because we had money issues. And you know, Lynn, when you're involved with the Muzungu, people think you're living this, lifestyle, and you have money, and the family members are looking at you, especially when we have issues like funerals or weddings or things like that. You're supposed to contribute. And I remember there was actually one time my mom's cousin passed away, and I said, I need money to contribute to this funeral, and I need to go to the funeral. So he said, well, you can contribute, but you don't need to go to the funeral. I said, no, I need to go to the funeral.
Because they used to save money for their funeral and everything. Things like that, they just pretend they cannot relate. Do you understand? Anything money, Muzungu don't want to hear you say money to family, money to these parents or no parents, family. They don't care. Like, they'll just say, let them take care of themselves by themselves. They are those kind of people. Do you understand? So Rose even thinking that you will say, your mom's relation, even if it's your own mom, that by they will tell you to, didn't she save money for her funeral? That's Muzungus for you.
Why do you need to go to the funeral? Are you gonna bring her back? And
you can imagine.
And this is the issue. When you don't have money, money is power. And this is what I tell my girls that follow me on social media. There's a thing I say, whoever signs the check gives you the check. So he tells you what to do, he tells you what to wear, he tells you how to do your hair, he tells you where, when, and when he says jump, you're just supposed to ask how high, because, you have no power.
Whoever signs the check, so keeps his check.
Yes. Then I could not do my hair the way I had done my hair, like this, with the braids. I was not allowed to. I was only allowed to straighten my hair, and do wigs. Old school, we used to do wigs. Wigs are now, it's popular, but we used to do wigs. And there was a particular kind of weaves, not just any weave. I used to do a weave we used to be called a palm weave. It needed to be straight. He hated curls, styles with curls, braids, any African styles like mulazos, monges, all those kinds of things. He hated. Yes, only straight hair palm and weaves, and particular weaves, not just any weave. Yeah. So now,
you can imagine.
When it came to the issue of
why even bother to marry her if you know that you hate coils? You don't like anything about this person, her race, her tribe, her anything. He just wanted somebody that he would be mean to, somebody's life that he would destroy. So when he dies, he feels like he's resting in peace because he's been a very mean and wicked human being.
About children, as I said, he became distant, and I have no money, I have nothing. I'm just sitting there, just
in your mansion.
Yeah, in my in my
mansion, in your dream.
And the reason why I mentioned money while I'm talking about children is because there came a point where I should do tests, because I became concerned because things were not happening. And now I'm 27 and there's nothing happening. So I went to a gynecologist and he suggested that
he knows what he's doing. He's on purpose shooting blank.
It's a very painful test. And I did it, and they said
meanwhile she was blaming herself.
One blocked tube on my right side.
Hello, Katori Kamama. Welcome, Queen. Thank you so much for joining. Katori said, good morning from Texas. Good morning to you. Good morning. How are you doing today?
But the other side, they said it was okay. And now, once I got that report, this man had friends who were doctors. They were Indians. My report.
Another bad belly.
And then they started discussing me like they don't exist.
You can imagine.
By the time they are calling me, sort of like on consultation now to this particular guy who is a doctor, and now my man, we went together.
Discussing her like she does not exist. It's just very strange.
Together, and they decided my tube should be removed. Okay.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? These people are taking decision. Him and his Indian friend doctors that they're busy discussing this full human being, like she's not there. Her permission. They didn't ask for her permission. They didn't ask for her opinion. They didn't ask anything. They were taking decision on her behalf. They've decided to remove this woman's tubes, but they don't. Just listen. Listen for yourself.
So I said, is that necessary? And Lina, I'm not, but that now, if it was now, I would have been able to know that is not necessary. But then I'm young and I don't know much, and we didn't have a lot of access to the internet, because that time, now you can go to Google and say, oh, is it necessary to do this for this? So they told me my tube needs to be removed.
You can imagine.
They booked the surgery and everything. And I remember the day I should go for the surgery, I went for the consultation, for the preparation for the surgery. And I spoke to the doctor who should perform the surgery.
Exactly. This story is really touching. This is really touching. Doing something like this to someone, knowing fully well, and even if she was an adult, the thing is, she won't know. She's not a medical person. She's listening to this his friend that is a medical person. She's thinking that's the only option. These two people are going to hell.
And he said, are you okay with this? I said, you are the doctor. You tell me,
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
may I just add that at this point, the interviewer is already, using her hand to dry tears from her face. How mean can this person be? This is somebody that she sleeps and wakes up in the same home with. This is somebody that she helped to take care of his mom when his mom was bedridden before his mom passed, his father, his brother, and everybody. This is somebody that she's married to, she takes care of, she sleeps and wakes up with, she eats with. And he goes with his friend that is a doctor, and this is the decision that they plan. Just because she told him that he already has a child, she too, she wants a child. Look at what this man decided to do just because she wanted a child of her own. Is that too much to ask?
Of the surgery, that is something that I will never forget. I went in and I got, they prepared me and everything. And of course, during surgery, you don't know what is happening. But after the surgery, now what transpired during that day when I should have the surgery, the doctor told me when I should go now for the follow-up. And I remember that doctor asking me, the one who actually performed the surgery, the Indian guy said that he's going to recommend the person the gynecologist who should perform the surgery. Because he said something about his field is not gynecology, is something else. So I'm thinking, why is somebody who is not even in that field making recommendations? Like, it's a big mess. So
because he knows that he could trust this one, even though his friend was not a gynecologist. Just because his friend was a doctor, he knows that he could use his friend to destroy this woman's life. That's why he used this person. Because if it was a total stranger, a doctor that knows that they didn't need to do what they did to this woman, there's no way the doctor would have agreed, because the doctor will not put his license on the line just to please an idiot that wants to be wicked.
And this doctor asked me, Rose, who is that man who brought you, for the surgery? I said, Bwana yangu, and he said, no, that is not your Bwana. I said, why? Because when we should prepare you to go into the surgery, he said that we should prepare him also because.
Okay, let's pause, because she's, like I said, she's Kenyan, so she's saying some things in Swahili. I believe the Bonaya one, you can understand that the doctor is asking, who's that man that brought you? And she responded, her husband. And the doctor told her that can be your husband. And she said, why? And he said, because as we're preparing you to take you into the theater for this surgery, he said that they should prepare him also, that he wants to come in and watch. You know why he wanted to watch? He wanted to make sure that they carry out that surgery that would destroy this woman's life forever. So he wanted to see it for himself. That's how wicked this human being was.
You want to watch.
That's somebody's husband.
Such surgeries are performed.
You can imagine.
He said, in my field, performing surgeries, I have never seen a family member ask something like that. Or usually, the family members are outside with pastors and church leaders praying that the patient will make, but the surgery is successful. Yes, he was there saying that he should be prepared and he should be given the masks and everything because he wants to watch how they perform such surgeries.
He knows what he's doing. You get adverts again. He knows why he wanted to be in there, because she asked for a child of her own.
Told me, I don't know, whether it's my place to tell you, but a person who would actually want to watch you being opened up, and he doesn't feel that he could feel something.
That person can be.
Yes, that
is how people get married to their own enemy.
Surgery was done, and I went home to recover. And
surgery that was not necessary.
But there were some doctors, some volunteer doctors who came to that area to just, perform, like give treatments for free for the villagers. And I told myself, they were from the US, and I told myself, let me take this test, the X-rays, and I had also done some scans as well, the ultrasounds. Let me take them and see what they would say about this. So I went there and I found somebody who was in charge of gynecology stuff, and I went in and I said, I just need your opinion about my case. I have done this test and I have done these scans, and the outcome was that my tube was removed. So I would like you to tell me what you think. And he looked and he told me, why was your tube removed?
Can you imagine?
I said, that's what was advised to me. I don't know. I said, no, that based on what I am seeing, that was not necessary.
You see?
That was not necessary. So that left me feeling like, it felt to me like they was trying to sabotage even my chances of actually conceiving, because
of course that was the plan.
Issues, and now they have actually added more issues to my story. And from that moment, I started thinking, this man doesn't have good intentions for me. And I went back and we actually had a fight about that. I said, you went and discussed my issues with your doctor friends and you made decisions, and now I'm missing my tube, and I have just found out that operation was actually not necessary. Actually, that doctor said, yes, you had hydrocephalus, that blockage, like a liquid in the tube. The doctor said there was actually even other options. There were things they could do even to just clear the tube. It wasn't to that extent where it should be removed, because according to him, he said it didn't look like it was damaged.
And now when you look back, do you think him insisting to be in the room was to make sure that ilitolewa kabisa?
Yeah, I don't know. He said he wanted to see how they perform such surgeries.
Was it to see or to make sure? Oh, yeah.
But please.
To make sure, I don't know if you, yeah. And after that, I had many issues after the surgery. I had many issues. They started talking about things like scar tissues, and then
he could have just told her that he already has his kids. If that's what she wants, let them go for a divorce. That he doesn't want, or she should adopt. So many things he could have just let her go. Actually, let her go and find somebody else that wants kids. But he had to go and plan with his doctor friend, Indian doctor friend, and they decided her tube should be removed. And then went to the hospital. Only heaven knows what they lied to these other people that were carrying out this surgery, that made them, they would have manipulated even the results for them to come to this conclusion that they needed. That's why he wanted to be in the room when that surgery was being carried out, So he's sure that they will most definitely do what he wants them to do. So he will be the one to laugh last.
Whether they messed up with it, he started creating cysts, ovarian cysts. So it became, I would say, it became almost impossible for me to conceive. Also, the actual act of trying to conceive was not taking place as it should, because he's not home, he's moody. When he comes home, he's moody. He's like, it's just, it didn't happen. Yeah. And I felt like it was also the issue. That's why I mentioned money, because it was the issue of money, controlling money. And he didn't actually like me having money, you know, having money like I have something in my possession. There was even one time he should travel to the UK, and he left. He paid at the supermarket.
You can imagine.
You go pick whatever you.
I go and pick. The manager there said also he had never seen anything like that.
with Buzungus, you will see many things.
I have never seen.
In the case of when Karen, let's talk about the Big Brother Naija lady. When Karen came out and Karen was saying, I don't have the people like, but didn't you say? Did you say? They're like, people don't understand. If this person is telling you that the person buys everything, where would they give you the money that you save from? Look at this one. He's traveling, going to the UK for holidays. Instead of him to give her enough money that would be enough for the home, he goes to the supermarket, a specific supermarket, pays at the supermarket. So she just goes there to pick up the necessary things that she needs, and she cannot exceed certain amount. So it is really disturbing.
Come here to my supermarket, and then I used to go and pick everything that I need. They put in the system. I get the receipt. I go to the manager upstairs with the receipt. You can, cancel the things that I have taken, add to deduct to the money that you have left. Wow. That's what I used to do. So I felt that he was trying to make sure that I had no power whatsoever, no money whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And this is the part now of the story that my viewers find it very, they feel I was very foolish. I was very stupid, because there came a time, and before I get to that point, I want to get back to the part where they won't give me a job because of my tribe. Because they kept saying my tribe is known for being thieves, being scammers, being wakora. That's what they kept saying. Because according to them.
Do you hear these words? Being a thief or scammer and jumping around. These are things that you will easily hear. Have you heard JD calling people scammers? Have you heard those? Like, it is common thing that you will hear when you start following these interracial things and whatnot. Once it goes south, these are the first things you hear. Scammers, this and that.
There was a history where Asibia to walinyang'anywa shamba na people from my tribe, so they had that bitterness. And they want to deal with people from my tribe. So this kept going on. He himself say, what people you're thieves, you're this and you're that.
You can imagine.
Yes.
So somebody that he's married to.
So now there came a time when he should have a contract, because he used to do big contracts. I'm not going to mention what kinds of contracts. Okay. He had another contract that he had not delivered, and he needed another one. So he said if he can use my name to get that contract. So I'm the one now who is applying for that contract. So we used my ID. I went and I got the contract. I fill out the application and everything, but he should do the job. So I feel that he is the one who is doing the job for me. So I get the contract, he does the job, and he delivered. And the money is deposited in my account, a Barclays bank account. That company used to give me Barclays Bank. Yes. 1.3 million Kenya shillings.
In your account?
In my account. So now this man was, in fact, I think the food he was eating was not reaching his stomach, because now he knew, and we were having issues. He knew this woman is running away with my money.
Katori, this story is not it's not new, and this woman is older than Cora. This woman was married for 10 years. It was 19 something to 2000. So she is way before Cora's situation happened, you know. This it's just that this she's told her story on her own channel, but this is somebody else that interviewed her about 4 months ago, that this person is telling. So this person is way older than Cora in age, and her situation too is way older than that of Cora.
So when the money came, we went, we confirmed the money was there. The first time we went, we actually took out a big chunk of the money. And taking you back, Lynn, because I want our viewers to understand my frame of mind at that point. Apart from them saying that, you know, I could be a thief because of where I come from, there was also an issue during my childhood. I was about 10, I would say 10 years old, where I was accused of stealing 10 shillings. And Lynn, if I'm sitting here, if I had stolen those 10 shillings, I would say I stole them, but I did not. And I'm not here to expose anyone, so I'm not going to say who beat me up. Yes. But I was beaten up so badly. And Lynn, people from my generation have received beatings. So I'm sure our viewer is like, so what? So you got a beating, so what? We all received beatings. A different kind of beating. But this particular beating, what actually, and I don't even like talking about it because it really gets me. It's not about the beating itself. Yes, the beating was bad. In fact, I still suffer effects of that beating. I still get migraines because after the beating, I collapsed. And when I woke up with a migraine. I still get migraines to this day. But it wasn't about the beating. It was about the words that we used when I was getting beaten. Yes. Because the person who was beating me was saying.
The thing is, even though people wanted her to take that money, because some people just don't have it in them. She felt like, okay, he did the work. It was his contract. Because he couldn't get it. If he was a nice person, he should have paid. He should have, you know, paid her for her getting the contract. But she not taking the money, I would not say she was a stupid person. There are people that would say, well, I will take the money and run away because he's this kind of. No, some people just don't have it in them to do things like that. So that's why she didn't do it. So I don't think people should even blame her for that. The person was just he was just a horrible person. You know.
You are burdened to us. Why are you even living? In fact, they said today you're going to sleep in the mortuary. In fact, if I can say it in Swahili, it will make more sense. Utalala kama umeuma pamba. Utalala kama umeuma pamba. And I got beaten up and I kept,
you can imagine the kind of things that family members will be doing to their own family members.
So that beating, it was something that really stuck to my mind because I remember vowing, I said, I will never steal anything from anyone all my life because I got beaten and I didn't steal. So I was thinking, what would happen if I steal? Because I'm suffering and I didn't steal. So imagine if you steal. Yes. So I told myself I will never steal. Never in my life. So now, when it came to the issue of this money, I told him, relax.
You deserved that money. He should have given you something from it. You both worked together for the contract. You won the contract.
Until there was about, I think, 400,000 remaining, and you should go and take out 200,000. So we cleared that account. It remained with the minimum balance, which was 15,000. If you take that out, then you have to close accounts. So we went on like that, and we had many problems. So now there was the issue of him talking about me getting fat. Okay,
they always like talking about people's looks. He was 57, and she's showing her old photos. She was a very skinny lady. Even now, she's still skinny. So where was the fat coming from? He was 50-something years old, getting married to a 20-something years old person. Even though he's older, he's still the one talking about her looks.
Me getting
Does that sound familiar?
And if I would put food on the table, he would be like, his eyes are on my plate, you know, and he'll be like, "Are you gonna eat all that? You know, you're just doing that, and then you utajaza manyama." You used to speak Swahili, as I said, Mr. Man was lived in Kenya for a long time, over 40 years. Yeah. So
over 40 years he was in Kenya.
He was better in Swahili than I was because he has lived also in Tanzania. He was like, "Sasa, you're gonna utajaza manyama kwa mwili." And him, was he slim? No, well.
What slim? You wish.
Well, I wouldn't say he was fat, but
he will have pot belly and everything, yet he'll be complaining about her looks.
But he was an active man, so anyway,
active or not active, he was 50 something, she was 20.
About my figure, and it came a time
he
when
had no he had no right to talk about her looks when he was the older one. With how many years? He was old enough to be her father, actually, because if you start having kids early, at that 50 something he was, he should be able to have a 20 years old child, you know, at least. So what are we even talking about? Yet he was complaining about her looks, telling her, "You're going to eat all those food, eat all those yama yama."
Going to the bedroom to change. It came a time when I used to change in the bathroom, because I remember one time I went to change in the bedroom, and he grabbed my tummy and pinched it and said, "Look, angalia hizi manyama sasa. Look at this."
You can imagine.
So now I used
the
to
old
like,
one is the one
I don't want him to see
complaining about someone else's
look.
looks.
I'm getting fat. And there's something that happens to us women, because even the most beautiful woman, in fact, I remember watching an interview with a very famous actress who is very beautiful, an American accent actress, and she was asked, "Is there something you find when you look at yourself in the mirror? Is there anything you find and you're like, I don't like that?" She said, "Yes."
It's never okay to speak about somebody else's looks, let alone somebody that you're married to. But these Muzungus, they can do anything.
That doesn't look. And then the interviewer was like, "If you can look at yourself and find, some imperfections, then we don't like."
All right, so this is 2 hours into this live stream, so I'm going to round this up here, and we will continue from this later on, because I don't want this live stream to be too long, so we're able to listen to it and enjoy the whole story. So 2 hours on the dot, I want to round this up. Thank you also very much for joining. We will continue with the other one. Let me just let's see. I don't think I'll be able to come back just immediately, but I'll probably put the other part on a different live stream because I don't want it to be too long. Thank you so very much, and I'll see you all on the next one.